now, the year is 2026. Over 30 years since the initial abuse allegations made public against the icon, the legend, the man, Michael Jackson. And now, with the release of the 2026 movie, Michael, we're faced with a dilemma and reckoning of old wounds while attempting to objectively understand the icon's many complexities. What you'll see are two very unserious women having a serious conversation, attempting to reconcile all of those feelings. Can they do it? We'll find out. You're now entering Beyond the Velvet Veil. Okay, so we're about to get into the really nitty-gritty of the
Nitty-gritty. Yes.
Trying to separate the artist from the art.
Okay.
When you have somebody of this magnitude who has been an influence on our entire childhood and made such incredible music while also trying to reconcile the allegations against him, the abuse allegations, the many allegations. How do you reconcile all of these parts and try, or do you?
I don't. I think it was something that was always there and always, sad to say, made sense because he liked kids. Now this movie in particular made me realize how much he liked kids and why he liked kids. Because I said, Michael Jackson never grew up, quote unquote, regular. He never had any friends that we know of outside of Ben.
Right.
Sorry. Outside of, and then he always read books. He really loved Peter Pan and Pinocchio. Right. And I said, he's been a child since he never grew up.
Right.
His body grew up, but his mind, he was always a child. So when he wanted to be with kids, he thought that he could do that as an adult. And then you can't.
Well, you can see where they were towing the line between giving us enough information to put those dots together to make sense of how he could have gotten to a place where these allegations, the problems that he struggled with when he came to socializing, clearly, you know. And
he couldn't fight him because it looked really bad.
It didn't look good.
Because he did hang out with kids and child stars that I remember.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And you admitted to having these kids in your bed.
Yeah, you did.
So even if you did not touch them, and that is a really big if, I'm sorry. It's hard for me not to believe these victims. However, what I'm really trying my best to do is not judge any of it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel sad for the victims. Even if he didn't think he did anything, these people had trauma.
Yeah.
Like, they left his house with trauma.
That they didn't have before they got there, probably.
With your favorite musician of all time.
He's got a whole animal farm.
Yeah. I can see how people felt safe with him.
Yeah.
And I can see how he might not have thought he was doing anything wrong. But I would say in those earlier years, just watching him struggle to find that sense of belonging, especially even with his brothers.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because he was the star.
But when they were playing basketball, like
when he again was still the star, he said, "I got toys and stuff." Right? He had childish games when they were full adults trying to be full adults with other girls. Okay.
Get that business.
Well, what time are you coming back home? We can play then. No, I'm trying to play with this girl over here. I'm not trying to play with you.
That broke my heart a little bit.
I mean,
I know.
Well, you're grown now. You got to do something else, but the maturity just wasn't there.
Right. I understood, but his sadness really struck me. And I don't know if anyone in the family could see it, is also what I was curious about. Because based on the movie, it almost seemed like nobody saw it.
Or cared.
Except for mother.
Mom. I would say the bodyguard too.
He did, but he never brought it up.
Because he need a job.
I need these
I'm encouraging you to do what you need to do.
Correct.
But I also still need a job, sir.
Correct. So. That is true. No one in this movie, again, I don't know in real life. Maybe it was Janet.
Maybe.
Who knows?
We don't know.
Hell, we don't know. But I would have hoped somebody saw the pain in this kid.
Yeah.
Or at least wondered what's happening. Because we want to go get that thing. And he over here want to play Twister. What's happening?
Do what you need to do.
It's so on brand, Michael.
It makes sense for you.
That sounds about right.
I guess we're going to be living with a monkey now.
Exactly. No one, look, I ain't never been rich. I ain't never been no rich, wealthy family that could afford to have a giraffe in the backyard.
A giraffe.
So I don't know what that feels like to be that in that world.
Yeah.
But it's clear to me that there was a lot missed. I think people gave him a lot of, let him do what he felt safe doing.
Correct. And it's Michael. You gonna say no to Michael?
You gonna say no to Michael? I mean, you could have. He seemed like he could take it.
He could have.
See how high he is. Yep. We don't have a replay, but I just don't know what to make of it.
I feel like depending on what it was though. Because I feel like if you said no, someone else was going to say yes. Or he was going to get it done himself.
Yeah.
He had the power, he had the money to do so.
I mean, he had a persuasive way with that. Listen, even with a soft voice, he had a way of persuading people to making them see his side, okay? Okay. I mean, he is fascinating. He is fascinating. He was who he was. And in spite of, he went through a lot.
Yes.
In spite of all of the things that he had been through, to me, where he ended up was inevitable. It almost feels inevitable.
Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't have ended up any other way. You just said no.
How could it?
Because even when his mom, there was a point where they were in the hospital because of the burn.
Right.
His mom tried to apologize for, I guess, not showing up, or at least not showing up, not saying anything at the time. He was like, you know what? I'm good. I need to go to sleep. I don't have time for this right now.
Exactly.
We're just gonna move on.
That is, I wrote my note. I wrote a note specifically about that scene because, one, thank you people who made this for not telegraphing everything, because that by itself, like her trying to apologize, and it's heartfelt.
Yeah.
She's crying.
Yeah.
He immediately shuts down and turns his back.
Yeah.
And he, like, I don't want to talk about it. He shuts the conversation off. And I think and it kind of speaks to exactly what we're talking about. On one hand, that boy had a lot of pain. And his mother knew it, she saw it, she tried to protect him from it. And I think that moment was her way of apologizing for the pain that she allowed. I hate saying it that way, but that, yeah.
She was in the room too. She was in all the rooms.
Absolutely. I can understand why. However, yes, that was her acknowledging the guilt she was feeling without a whole bunch of words.
Yeah.
And he knew it, but at the same time, he could not deal with it.
Yeah.
He couldn't deal with what had happened.
Yeah.
He was too afraid to even have conversations with Joe, which was actually hilarious the way that they portrayed it.
Okay, first of all, this movie was actually really funny, y'all.
So funny.
Because I just wanted Michael to be like, no, Dad, this is my life now. You cannot do
That
it
is
anymore.
the most Kevin McAllister.
Because, okay, so when he, quote unquote, fired him through a fax, and Joe confronted him about it, and he was there was in the scene, Michael was holding the door open and he was gripping the handle like he was about to do something. I thought he was going to shove the door in his face.
He
was holding it real tight.
Right.
That was
what he was going to do.
That was the only weapon at the time.
Do that.
But he just stood there and took it. He just, like he's been doing his whole life from his father. You just sat there and took this verbal, physical abuse and
held it in.
That's why you fired him over a fax. And just like Joe said, you couldn't say it to my face.
Hell no, nigga.
Listen, I want the white man to do it for me too. Correct. Because you can see he was so taken back to when he was a little boy.
Oh my God, the trauma.
Every single time, he's just. That's why whenever he would get someone to quote unquote fire his dad or get him off, they would all look like, you want us to fire your dad?
Right.
Joe?
The fear.
Oh, okay.
The terror.
Because Joe incited fear in everyone. Even though we never saw it in this movie. But you just saw him revert back to his younger self and just be like,
yeah. On one hand, there are parts of me that wanted to be sad for Michael in those moments, because God, that has to be lonely.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
still no friends as an adult.
Right. On the other hand, I was thinking like, but he made the best out of it. So how sad could I honestly be? Like you found, like the reality is we're always in need of connection. Yeah. I'm happy he found it at least with animals that
he had to buy.
Like he did. But at the same time, the alternative is nobody. And that's an awful feeling.
But he had both. He had nobody and he had the animals. Because I feel like the only person who was really loyal, of course, his driver, his bodyguard, and his mom.
Yep.
Everybody else was a fan, which he called family because that makes sense. And then he had his
brothers.
And then and then I guess people maybe he met in life, but that's only because of who you are, not because of genuine. I'm not gonna say he didn't have genuine connections with all these celebrities.
Right. I don't know.
But you also met them because of who you are.
I don't know if there's a way around that. I don't know if there's a way around it, but I do know I'm struggling to reconcile my feelings with Mike, because there's a part of me that reflects back to like the Neverland documentary, and I'm struggling to merge the different parts of him into like one person, because we're saying that this icon, the king of pop, the extremely fascinating human being, and he just seemed like a genuinely compassionate person. This person is the same person from that documentary that had the capacity to abuse these kids. And it's hard for me to reconcile all of these allegations with this person that has meant a great deal to all of our childhoods, and not wanting to dismiss or invalidate anybody's experiences, because I definitely believe them, but also this is like he's held a special place in my heart. And so trying to have a objective perspective and hold space for all of those that are involved in this, it's hard. And I'm trying to figure it out. And I don't know how to yet. I don't know how to reconcile the conflicting feelings that are coming up.